Welcome, dear viewers, to another video sponsored by APEALZ. My name is Peter, here with you today. Now, it's fairly common among a lot of different hobbies, jobs, industries to wear something, some accessory or article of clothing to help you with what you're doing. For example, I've got on the knuckle dusters, the thanking cap, the safety goggles, smoking jacket, and the stunting chains. All very important accessories that are needed for different activities. But you might be asking, Peter, what does all of this have to do with drawing? Well, let me tell you, drawing can come with its own set of accoutrements, if you will. Now, for drawing today, we are going to need to put on, cue the music, cue it. I demand cozy feet, and frankly, I can't work without them. Now you might be wondering, Peter, what's with the containment suit? It's actually totally unrelated. I saw a bug earlier. Today, this is our target. This intimidatingly large space right here. It might look small on your screen, but in real life, it's big and has a nice cloth texture to it. That's right. This is the big laptop APEALZ. It's going to be the final piece here. And now that we have fresh socks, we can really get to it. In another recent video, we did this one here at the bottom, and we did a giveaway. Here are the people that won giveaways of that sticker. Congrats, everyone. Enjoy. Go stick it on your hydro flask, which is what I think it was designed for. But once again, or you can just stick it on the wall or whatever you want. You can also go apply for the creator program if you want, which is how you can have your own art sold on APEALZ, or you can just go to APEALZ.com and order your own designs after uploading them if you just want your own stuff on something. Pretty cool. And if you want to win the finished, complete version of this, what I'm about to draw on a big, big sticker, this one I have here on the wall, I'll stick it on here once I finish the drawing. The giveaway link is in the description, but when you click on that link and go there, you're going to need this code word to put in one of the text boxes. The code word for today's giveaway is cozy, because that's how my toes feel right now. Cozy, C-O-Z-Y, or as they would say in Canada, C-O-Z-Y. Also, you can use Spring15 for 15% off right now at APEALZ.com. Click the link in the description to see hundreds more of my designs that I've uploaded, okay? You can get many of my designs on many different products. So, what up? Let's go draw and see what we can put here. So, once again, I used the Peter pen, which was made by me, Gold Spot, and Narwhal pens, and I think altogether I did all these drawings. It's been a pretty good testament to the construction of this pen, because I did this whole drawing, which took me 10 hours, and I only had to refill the pen once, and I started out with it only about 1/3 full. So, I mean, the pen, I don't know, it works pretty good. I've been happy with it. I was kind of determined to do all the drawings in this APEALZ project with this Peter pen because, you know, I was telling people to buy it and stuff. I needed to use it a bunch and make sure it worked well and was reliable. But I already knew this because I had tried a Narwhal pen before and I felt good about it. But I hadn't used any of the Narwhal pens as much as I used this Peter pen. Yeah, so like I said, it took me about 10 hours. At least that's how much recorded footage I have for it. There's probably some little breaks and stuff in there. But, you know, clock in, clock out. It was about 10 hours, probably over 2 or 3 days. I think it was only 2 days, actually. I kind of just sat down and did it. 5 hours of drawing per day is actually a lot. At the end of the day, if you draw for 5 hours, at least for me, uh, at the end of that, I can feel it in my hand, like in the back of my knuckles. You know where my tendons go over my knuckles. There's like some tightness, some soreness there. Only start feeling it maybe after about 4 or 5 hours. And the more you draw, if you don't draw a lot, you probably could start feeling that sort of thing, in a much shorter amount of time, even just after an hour. But it's good to take lots of little small breaks as well. You know, draw for draw for a minute or 5 minutes, and then stop for 10 or 15 seconds. Stretch your fingers. Lots of little breaks. I mean, I don't know if that 5 minute thing is even. I think I do it subconsciously. The little breaks I take, right? Little breaks are important. Long breaks are important. Don't hurt yourself, right? It's not worth it. I will say there are a few types of drawing that seem to make my hand get faster. I mean, get tired faster than other types of drawing, like stippling, for example. For some reason, there's something about drawing all those tiny dots that makes my hand get tired like twice as fast. And I'm not sure why. It's not like I don't think I squeeze the pen harder or not. There's not like a bunch more muscles involved. Maybe it's just all the precision up and tiny precision motions up and down, you know. And I don't know, that's probably how you get like tendonitis or carpal tunnel or something. It's probably I do want to do a bunch more stippling sometime, but it's probably good that I haven't done more than I have because I don't know, it's probably bad once you start feeling that. I think it's bad once you start feeling that tingly feeling in your fingertips. Thankfully, I have never felt that, but I've heard people talk about it. I think that has something to do with tendonitis or carpal tunnel or something. And ugh, maybe I should get my hands insured. Or when I'm not using my hand, put it in a bubble like that hand model from Zoolander, a glass bubble to protect them. Well, for now, I'll just try to keep taking a healthy amount of breaks and not drawing when it hurts too much. Be good to yourself. Also, now I have started school. I've just finished the first week of school, a week. Well, I'm recording this on a Tuesday. School started last Wednesday, and even just look, it's rough because these summer classes, they move fast. Like I'm used to the normal semester where it lasts like 3 months, or I don't know, is it 4 months? I think it's only 3 months. But these summer classes, it's a whole class in 4 weeks, in 1 month. Like the pace is just incredible, and in a way, I kind of like it. Right? It was just a little bit of a shock how fast things were moving. But I kind of like it because sometimes with the normal classes, it seems a little bit too dragged out. Everything moves a little bit too slow. The end of the class feels really far away. It's hard to mentally pace myself as far as like, oh, that final project, when do I start it? Stuff like that. But at least with this 1 month length class, like that final project, I'm like, it's practically due already. I feel comfortable starting it right now. The only downside is that I like getting into little like routines, like little rhythms, like wake up, do this, do that, work on this class, then that. And it's hard to get into one of my routines or rhythms so quickly. I mean, I feel like as soon as I do, the class will be over. But I'm taking 2 classes I'm taking. Let's see, I'll tell you what I'm taking. I'm taking Major American Authors, Colonial through Romantic. And that's an English class. And I'm taking a history class called Topics, Global Labor History. And both of these classes, they assign an incredible amount of reading. I mean, I'm a pretty quick reader, but some of this reading, they're like scholarly articles and journals, and or some of it's like old English, where they used to spell things differently. It's one thing to read like a novel you like, and you can just speed through it, but some of these, I have never Googled so many words. Like I thought I knew most of the words in the English language, but I've been sitting here Googling words all for the past few days. I mean, I Googled usufruct. I Googled uxorilocal. I Googled corvée. And then sometimes they throw in little Latin phrases or words that they just kind of, especially with these scholarly people, they're like, there's some Latin phrases that have worked their way into regular English usage, like saying status quo or something. That's one of the ones that I feel like most people know or at least could understand in common usage just from context clues. But like I googled deterior conditio, and there's not a when I googled that deterior conditio, there wasn't even a definition. I just had to look up another article which had a definition of it. Like usually when you Google something, Google's like, oh, here's the definition, right? I had to like do actual research. So I mean, it's I'm learning stuff. So, some of it's easier, some of it's harder. But these classes, both of how you ever get that feeling like with college professors, and you're like, you, they must know, but you want to tell them like, you do know, I have other classes, other stuff going on in my life, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just sometimes when you see all the assignments and then you're like, whoa, this is a lot. But then you sit down and do it. And at least for me, I try to do it all at once ahead of time, way ahead of schedule. And then it's just kind of stressful for a few days. And then everything is okay after that. Like each day, this one class assigns like a chapter of this, 2 chapters of that, 15 pages here, 30 pages there of this stuff you just have to slog through. And then there's all these discussion boards where I have to post comments and then reply to comments. And sometimes my classmates' comments are more difficult reading than the actual articles. So far in the labor class, we've just learned about things, like at the beginning we learned about things like, the word Marx was said a lot, of course, free labor, wage labor, slavery, proletariat, bourgeoisie, stuff like that, slavery, chattel. The beginning now we're moved on to different types of slavery, like chattel slavery. A lot of these words I don't know if I'm saying right because I'm mostly just reading them and no one is saying them out loud because it's all just online text. Learn about different types of slavery in the United States, and then now we're learning about different types of slavery in like China, Korea, Africa, like East Africa, Arabia, stuff like that. So we'll see where it goes from there. I guess that's just one type of labor, and I guess we'll go on to learn about different types of labor. Like I said, we're only like 3 or 4 days in, and I feel like I've read like 10 books worth of stuff already. And I have to write a paper too. It's going to go fine. It's going to go fine. Whew. Keep telling yourself that, Peter. Everything's going to be okay. Whew. Your eyes aren't actually bleeding from reading all this stuff on a computer screen. That's why I have these glasses that are blue light filtering. They help some. Also, I will say I did commit a bit of a social faux pas in the messaging of my one of my professors. I messaged them like, you can leave. She graded my Unit 1 discussions, right? She graded them. She left a comment, and then I replied. What it was about isn't important, but the point is, she's a doctor of some kind. She has a doctorate, right? I don't have a problem with that. I don't know why I would, but I was a little bit spoiled in my interactions with the professors in my previous professors I've talked to in my interior architecture program. It was all kind of chummy, and all the professors there were very okay with all the students calling them by their first name. All the professors there were on a first name basis with all the students, and so especially being 30 years old, I was even older than some of the professors and associate professors and assistants and stuff, or the same age, or anyways, the point is, I replied to this professor. I'm just going to give her a made-up name. I'll call her Sarah Smith, okay? And I said, Sarah, thank you, blah, 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 this, that. What about this? Thanks, Peter. And then like 10 minutes later, I saw that she had sent out like an email, totally unrelated, where she had addressed the class and she signed it off as Dr. Smith. And I was like, oh no, she likes to be called Dr. Smith. I messed up by calling her Sarah. I got way too casual, I bet she didn't like that, because I feel like I feel like we've all met that person who's like, that's doctor to you. I was like, uh-oh. And so I sent another message quickly. It was like 10 minutes later. I sent another message saying, Dr. Smith. Sorry. Thanks, Peter. With like a little asterisk, like I was, does anyone else do those asterisks, like saying as a little sign, an indicator that you're correcting something? I don't know if is that like a widely accepted thing that everyone knows what that means. So I tried to correct myself, but in the same minute I sent that, the same minute she replied to me, and she said, "Dear Peter, Dr. Smith here." I was like, "Oh no, am I on her bad side now?" I wonder, are there any doctors out there who don't tell people they're doctors? There probably are. Oh, I bet those people are nice. I'm all right. I know. I'm being annoying now. People, hey, if I was a doctor, I'd be like, I worked for this. I worked hard for it. And I'm going to try to beat you over the head with it any chance I get. In fact, I've pretended to be a doctor a lot of times, and I'm not anything close to a doctor. So, I mean, I'm even worse than that. Anyways, everything with the classes is going great. Sometimes the readings feel a little bit difficult, but then sometimes by the end of the reading, and I'm like, wow, this is actually really interesting stuff that I would never have thought about before, So I am enjoying it, even if it's a lot of sitting and staring and reading. It's all right. It's good. Everything's going okay. There's my update for you. Okay, here we are, and here we have it. The finished product. Look at that. Pretty awesome. Now all we have to do is put it in this spot. Oh, that's gonna feel good. Just gonna. You mind holding this? Just kidding. There's no one there. Gonna see if I can stick it on here and hold and talk into the mic at the same time. Oh yeah. Ooh. I love the texture of these things. That's right. That's a good feeling. Looks great, feels great, and you can stick it, remove it, and reuse it. So no worries if I did get it wrong the first time. Go check this out on their website. I saw one guy on Instagram had bought, I think maybe this one up here and put it on the side of his computer case or something. It looked awesome. Check it out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Onward. More lines in the future. That's the forecast. Thank you, and good night. Yes, I'm probably going to sleep in this, but it's pretty comfortable.